Hello everyone, welcome to Alice's Warped Wonderland. I woke up like early, so I'm doing this. Welcome to the Nightmare Project World Rage. To you, a gentle nightmare. Let's just start. Game start, load, chapter, new game. Okay, new game. Game will overwrite your save game. Yes, I've never played before, so it looks like it says that no matter what. Oh, it's cute. I'm gonna turn the volume down a little bit. Don't know why, but every time I have the volume a certain level, you can't hear my voice. Okay, that's creepy. Still loading. I think I'm gonna pause. Okay, the loading's about done. Okay, load complete. Warning, the game contains description of fear and extreme horror. Alice. Our Alice. Your arms. Your legs. Your head. Your voice. Please give them to us. That's creepy. If this world exists only to hurt you, throw it away. A body torn to pieces. Sleeps quietly, wrapped in a blanket of madness. Now, a nightmare from which you will never awaken begins. Chapter 1. Forever After School. After waking up from a dream, the line between dreams and reality is blurred. And even if you've been awake for a while, what if a dream and what is a dream and what is reality may not be obvious? What is this? I stared blankly at the figure before me. Sharp yellow teeth lined inside of a mouth shaped like a crooked crescent moon. What a big mouth you have, like the wolf that ate Little Red Riding Hood. Oh my god. Good morning, Alice, spoke the mouth. Wait, a mouth? Erico. I snapped to attention. Who are you? I was so startled that I nearly fell out of my chair. The figure was leaning over, its arms and legs, and it perched itself on top of a desk in the study room. Well, why is someone on top of the desk? Never mind that. Who is this person? This school is off limits to non-students and non-faculty members. At least it's supposed to be. The suspicious figure's face was hidden beneath the hood of its cloak. All I could see was its grinning mouth. There was no school or sports festivals today, so there was no reason for such a strange person to be here. I slowly stood up from my chair and backed away. Why is no one... It was then that I realized nobody else was around. I was alone with this strange hooded figure. Where's Yuko? I'm saying Unico, because I don't think I can pronounce that properly. That's right. I came here with my friend Unico to study, didn't I? Still half asleep, my memory was hazy as I tried to remember what had happened. And then I accidentally fell asleep. Unico was not here. And instead the hooded figure still perched atop the desk. Such a deep voice. Is it a man? But his slender chin looks rather feminine. I wonder if she went home without me. Sunlight leaked through the window, painting the room a dark shade of red. The sun will set soon. Unico is not here. The hooded figure repeats himself as if responding to my muttering. Well, then I'm gonna go home too. I slowly back away, keeping my gaze fixed on the figure perched on top of the desk. My movement stiff, I gradually made my way to the door. I need to tell the teacher. There's a weird person here. I touched the door handle and was about to walk out of the study room, but against my better judgment, I glanced behind me. Ah! I loudly slammed my back against the door. The figure was right behind me, practically nestled up against me. Too close. He's too close. When did he sneak up on me? I didn't hear him make a sound. My body dragged against the door as I slid down to the floor. The figure just looked down at me with a satisfied grin on his face. Can I help you with something? Who are you? I am the Cheshire Cat. Cheshire Cat? You're not from around here, are you? Now, Alice, let's chase after the right rabbit. What? Rabbit? Huh? What's this about a rabbit? Are you looking for a rabbit? That's fine and all, but I wish you wouldn't stand so close to me. The thought entered my head, and I sat there, my back still pressed against the door. I'm not looking for it. You're going to chase after it, Alice. Who is Alice? You. No, I'm not. I'm not Alice. I shook my head violently. Oh, so that's it. You're just mistaking me for someone else. I breathed a sigh of relief. Of course I wouldn't know what he's talking about. It would all make sense now. It all makes sense now. I'm not mistaken. We wouldn't mistake Alice for anyone. But I'm not Alice. Yes, you are. No, I'm not. I'm telling you. My name is Eriko Kostraga. I did not say that right. I mean, my name might sound like Alice, but I'm a native Japanese and my English is pretty bad, so that means... I felt a surge of determination. I'm not Alice. Cheshire Cat paused and nodded his head. All right, Alice, let's chase the right rabbit. My words, they aren't getting through to him at all. Why did I even bother explaining? Speechless, I looked up at the figure. I couldn't see anything inside his hood except darkness, a gloomy, oppressive darkness. It looked like it would swallow me whole. A shiver ran up my body. Suddenly, the darkness came closer. The figure held out his hand. Without thinking, should I slap his hand away, open the door, and run away? I don't really want to touch a guy that looks like he could hit me, so I am going to open the door and run away. I opened the door and ran out of the study room. What? But as soon as I ran out the door, my feet came to a stop. The hallway had no end. It stretched on and on until it became a hazy blur. What is this? When did the hallway become like this? How is this even possible? At first, I thought rubbing my eyes would make it go away. But there is no change in the sight I beheld. I started to feel dizzy. Anyway, I need to get downstairs. That was my initial thought, but I quickly discovered that the stairs had vanished too. They should have been right next to the study room, but I only saw a white wall. I just stood there, dumbfounded. What? What could this possibly mean? The situation was so strange, I blurted that question aloud in spite of myself. Something wrong, Alice? I heard the Cheshire Cat's voice behind me. For a moment I hesitated, then I decided to act. Nothing is wrong, I shouted without turning around, then broke into a fierce run down the hallway. Strange figure or strange hallway, which is better? There was no way of knowing, but I chose the hallway. I ran and I ran and ran. Then I came to a stop. Ha 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 ha. Running is not my strong suit. Why do I have to run as fast as I can inside the school? I placed my arms on my knees and took some rough breaths. After taking a deep breath, I looked behind me. The study room door seemed very small now. Just past the door, a gray stood inside the study room. It was the strange figure I rejected. He didn't chase after me, he just stood there. Ugh. It would be scary if he came after me, but it's also scary that he didn't. When I looked ahead, I still couldn't see the end of the hallway. Did I make the wrong choice? That question arose in my mind, but I ignored it for now and continued to run forward. So there's multiple endings, if I remember correctly. So we can play through this a couple times and get different endings. I trudged through the hallway. I couldn't bring myself to return to the study room. Even when I went back, there's no escape, so I can't go back. I must move forward. The long hallway was dead quiet. I shouted out loud a few times, but there was no response. It seems like there really is no one here. Why? I wonder where everyone could have gone. There was a window on the side of the hallway. From the window, I could see the front courtyard. Everything outside was tinted red from the sunset, but there was no one out there either. No cars, no bicycles, I can't say that word. Not a single sound. What could have happened? An orderly row of classrooms were to my left. The plates that should display the classroom numbers were blank. Though this should be a familiar environment, there was something cold and distant about it. What should I do? Someone. Isn't anyone here? As if praying, I walked by each classroom and peered inside. After opening yet another door, my feet came to a halt. A strange figure stood in the middle of the classroom. Good, there's someone here. Excuse me? I was about to run over to him, but I suddenly caught myself. What is that? At first glance, his slacks and white button-up shirt made him look like a businessman. But then I saw something no normal businessman would have. No, it was something that no normal person would have. For his head jutted two white ears as if they were reaching for the sky. A rabbit? Costume? But it looks too real to be a costume. And that's not all. I could see through him and make out the scenery behind him. He's transparent? Excuse me. I carefully stepped into his view. My breath left me. His face and arms were covered in fluffy white fur. A red nose protruded from his face. This is definitely not a costume. But his right hand was the most shocking thing about him. The fur in the rabbit's hand was detached with thick, sticky blood drenched. Why does he have blood on his? Is that the rabbit's blood? Or does it belong to someone else? The white rabbit had a doll against his red chest. The doll was about the size of a baby, but it had no arms, legs, or even a head. The rabbit cradled this plump, childlike body as though very important to him. And then I heard a soothing lullaby. Arms, arms, where could your arms be? If you don't have arms, you can't pet me. A drop of blood ran down the rabbit's hand, sliding through the doll's belly before it plopped onto the floor. Fresh blood, as if he just recently killed someone. It's not enough. The rabbit's voice made my body twitch. His eyes were still fixed on the doll in his arms. He was ignoring my presence. No, maybe he hadn't even noticed me yet. No, it's not enough. I must hurry. With that, the white rabbit aimlessly walked towards the door in front of him. His incorporeal body effortlessly passed through the desk. Just before the rabbit went through the closed door, his muttering reached my ears. Alice. Finally, the rabbit passed through the classroom door and disappeared. What was that just now? I stood in place, dumbfounded. A rabbit ghost? Or was it just a hallucination? So many curious things have been happening, I'm not sure how to react. This isn't a dream, is it? There was a small pool bud where the right figure had been standing. Red proof that this wasn't an illusion. Droplets of blood that had pooled on the ground had oozed their way to the door. When I opened the door, the trail of blood continued down the hallway. I stared intently down the hallway. Just like before, there was no end in sight. As if being invited by the red trail, I continued to walk the hallway. How far would have I been walking? Finally reached the end, just when I started to feel more bored by the hallway than scared. Oh, what? My feeling of relief quickly gave way to disappointment. As I got closer, it became more obvious it was just a wall. A dead end, when I've walked this far? I grew more discouraged as I approached the wall when I noticed a tiny, tiny door. Oh wow, what a small door. It has to be 8 inches tall, if that. For such a small door, it even had small details like doorknobs. It's so cute. It's a mini door. But what's this door even doing here? I grabbed the doorknob and twisted it, and the door opened easily enough. When I lowered my head to peer through the door, I saw a hallway much like this one I was in. But there was no key difference. There was one key difference. A staircase. If I can get to the other side of this door, I can go down those stairs. And then maybe I can go outside. The other side of this door. My happiness quickly deflated. How can I even fit through such a tiny door? I stood dusting off my school uniform. Well, this is a problem. I guess I have no choice but to use the curtains to climb down the balcony. But I'm not exactly afraid of heights, but I'm not very athletic. If I fall from the 4th floor, well, I'll die. With those thoughts on my mind, I opened the door to the nearest classroom. My feet stopped at the entrance. This classroom was different from the others. A colorful paper curtain and paper flowers decorated the classroom. The student desks and chairs were pushed to the back, leaving an open space in front of the classroom. It's like a birthday or going away party in the elementary school. But instead of a lively atmosphere, the classroom was silent. There were various drawings on the blackboard, and in the center, in white red letters, "Welcome home, our Alice," was written. It looks fresh, as it was written just recently. Alice. I mumbled that name as I stared at the blackboard. I'd heard this name a lot today. In front of the blackboard, on top of the teacher's podium, was a rather large basket. Upon closer inspection, a slip of paper lay on top of the basket. "Eat me," was written on it. What could it be? I wonder if there is food inside. I casually opened the basket. Inside there was a white arm severed at the elbow. Ran as fast as I could back to the hallway. When I stopped running once, I ran out of breath. My legs began to shake as soon as I stopped, and I sank to the floor. What was that just now? It looked like a child's arm. That red stuff where it was cut, was that blood? A wave of nausea suddenly hit me, and I covered my mouth. No, it can't be. No running in the hallway, Alice. Ah! I panicked and looked behind me. But there was nobody there. Over here, the voice came from above. I looked up and saw someone crouched on top of the cupboard. It was the hooded figure I encountered in the study room. I believe he called himself the Cheshire Cat. What a strange person. I looked up at the man, dumbfounded. There wasn't a whole lot of space between the cupboard and the ceiling, yet somehow this person had compressed himself to fill that space. What are you doing in a place like that? It was so bizarre I could feel my composure weakening. And then the man jumped down, still grinning now. just hit my head without making a sound. What is the matter, Alice? Are you hungry? I'm not hungry. There was a severed arm over there. What should I do? Oh yes, I need to call the police. While I stood on the ground in a panic, the person across from me seemed unfazed by all this. He just silently looked down at me, grinning. I swallowed my saliva in one loud gulp. Don't know. Should I try talking to him? He hasn't tried to hurt me yet. I'm gonna try talking to him. Calm down. Right now, I should just try to talk to him. That's right. Communication is the key to understanding. Excuse me. Were you listening to what I was saying? Of course. No matter where I am, Alice, I can hear your voice. That's creepy. What should I do? Now that... You should chase after the right rabbit. Rabbit? Why is he mentioning a rabbit now? Let's go. What are you talking about? This is no time to even be talking about a rabbit. But the Cheshire Cat's expression didn't change. He kept right on grinning. I started to get worried and began asking questions in rapid succession. Hey, why is no one else around? Did something happen? Do you know what's going on? But that grinning mouth provided no answers. My weirdness began to turn into annoyance. Why is the hallway so long? Why is the door so small? How is anyone supposed to get through that thing? At this point, I was mostly just venting. But to my surprise, the Cheshire Cat responded to my last question. So you wish to pass through the small door? He nodded with approval. Huh? No, it's not that. Oh, shoot, come. The Cheshire Cat cut me off mid-sentence and walked as he was sliding across the floor. Along the floor. What? Wait a second, please. Hey. In the end, I followed him because I was too scared of being left behind. But was this the right decision? I stared at the gray black walking in front of me. He's definitely weird. It's suspicious enough that he refers to himself as the Treasure Cat, and his appearance just makes him even more suspicious. Outside of motives in manga, I've never seen anyone wear a robe like this. Is it really okay for me to follow him? Suddenly felt scared, or suddenly felt worried. I'm going to go worried. Suddenly felt uneasy. Staying quiet was only making my uneasy worse, so I decided to talk to the Cheshire Cat. Mr. Cheshire Cat. Yes, Alice. Cheshire Cat replied, his back still facing me. Why are you always smiling? Well, Alice, all the better not to frighten you. I spoke to him again. Mr. Cheshire Cat. Yes, Alice. The Cheshire Cat replied, his back still facing me. Why do you always walk so quietly? Well, Alice, all the better to hear your beating heart. I spoke to him again. Mr. Cheshire Cat. Yes, Alice. The Cheshire Cat replied, his back still facing me. Why do you have such a large mouth? Well, Alice, all the better to eat you with. Did I just die? I bumped into the Cheshire Cat's back and came to a stop. Oops, my bad. I was imagining strange things. I'm sorry. I apologized. I raised my head. I realized we were in front of the decorated classroom. The child's arm I threw was likely still inside. Panicking, I grabbed the Cheshire Cat by the clothes as he tried to enter. No, you shouldn't go inside because there's an arm. It's okay, Alice. The Cheshire Cat calmly replied. I'm not Alice. I told you. The Cheshire Cat rushed off my attempt to hold him back and slipped inside the classroom. I turned away from the entrance. I really can't. I don't want to look at it ever again. That thing, just remembering, is making me nauseous. I would rather see anything else than see that arm again. So why does it have to be right in front of me? My attempt to run away failed almost immediately. Before I knew it, the Cheshire Cat had already grabbed me by the arm. Alice? No, don't bring it so close. Oh. A wave of nausea hit me and I fell to my knees. I desperately tried to hold my vomit. My eyes blurred with tears. Oh no, I might throw up. But as I thought that, I felt a hand lightly touch my back. I couldn't see whose, but I'm pretty sure it was the Cheshire Cat's. It was a warm hand brimming with heat. Right then and there, the nausea vanished. What was that just now? It's okay, Alice. The Cheshire Cat's voice from above me. Came the Cheshire Cat's voice from above me. It's not okay. Don't get that thing anywhere near me. I screamed as I remained crouched and tried to not look at it eat. Huh? Until the words made me lift my hand in spite of myself. The man in the gray hood grinned as he held a severed white arm. Red liquid just dripped from the wound. I became dizzy. Did you just tell me to eat that thing? Eat! All the blood in my face drained away. Naturally, I started to feel lightheaded. This is just weird. This person is definitely weird. What's this called again? There's a word for it. Cannibalism? No, I don't have taste for human flesh. I don't. Definitely not. I need to run away. But my legs just trembled weakly beneath me. I abruptly fell to the floor. Come on now. The Cheshire Cat bent over and held out the white arm. Stop. Help someone. I struggled in vain as the Cheshire Cat gently held me down. It's delicious. No, let go. I turned my head in desperation and started slapping the Cheshire Cat with my free hand as hard as I could. What are you thinking? I can't eat a human heart, especially not a child's. Who could do such a terrible thing? It's not human flesh, said the Cheshire Cat as I slapped his face. Huh? Without thinking, I steadied my hand and looked at the Cheshire Cat. It's a bread arm. Bread? You mean like the kind of bread you eat? The Cheshire Cat grinned and held out the arm. Study the arm carefully, because he's not going to let me go without someone looking at it. I looked down at the arm in fear. A puffy arm. There was wrinkles in the joints and lines in the palms. Even the fingertips had nails. It is a real arm. There's no way you could bake bread to look this real. I started to hit the Cheshire Cat again. There's blood, too. The Cheshire Cat rotated the arm slowly, showing me where it was severed just below the elbow. No, that's enough. Don't show me. Closed my eyes and looked away. That smell. It smells like bread. I opened my eyes in response to the spicy savor. The white arm dangling in my face is severed and brushing against the tip of my nose. I was about to slap it away, but then I noticed something. Huh? That's weird. There's no bone. There was no bone to be seen inside the severed end. On the place, the arm was stuffed with a thick red substance. Small black grains were mixed in that shiny red liquid. This isn't blood, it's jam? Strawberry jam? Calmly and carefully, I studied the arm. It was indeed bread. On the surface, it looked just like a human arm, but inside it was filled with air bubbles. It's really bread? Yes, it's bread. It's baked very well. If bread sculptures for such a thing, it's costly go to a bread museum, though that would be in poor taste. Eat. No. It was just bread. I still don't want to eat that thing. Besides, I'm not even hungry. The Cheshire Cat remained quiet. Then he ripped a hunk of bread from the arm. Even though I knew it was bread, the sight still made me shiver. The Cheshire Cat grinned as he held out a chunk of bread. He's always grinning anyway. Hold on. Whoa, we've been going for half an hour. What happened next was too fast for me to even register. Initially, I didn't even know what happened. Something was shoved in my mouth. In a split second, the Cheshire Cat had covered my mouth and nose with his hand. I can't breathe. I struggled as hard as I could, but the Cheshire Cat's hand wouldn't budge. Someone so skinny, he had incredibly strong. It hurts. Is this person trying to kill me? Since I was too delirious to breathe. Gulp. Blig. I swallowed it. Once he was sure I'd swallowed it, the Cheshire Cat finally removed his hand. Wasn't that tasty? It doesn't matter if it was tasty or not. It could have been a custard-filled sweet one and it still wouldn't have mattered. It also doesn't matter that the strawberry jam had been the right amount of sweetness and tartness. I told you I didn't want to eat it. As I began to protest, I started to feel dizzy. The world began to wobble and I was overcome with vertigo. As if the scenery and the Cheshire Cat himself were becoming mushy and warped. His smiling face grew larger and larger until it started to cover the world. See, this is what I get for eating a weird piece of bread that looks like human flesh. Suddenly the world turned dark. At first I thought I lost consciousness, but I was awake and my eyes were open. The world didn't turn dark because I lost consciousness. I was actually covered by a large piece of fabric. What is this? Is it a bed sheet or something? Why would this suddenly fall from the sky? I struggled to lift my head out of the mysterious fabric. However, it seemed oddly bigger than I had guessed. I couldn't move it off me. This fabric is strangely thick and heavy. Cheshire Cat? Are you there? Called out in a random direction. What is it, Alice? His reply was surprisingly close, but I was still relieved. He's such a suspicious character, but it beats being completely alone. Hey, so this, fabric, what's the deal with... Ah! What happened, Alice? Cheshire Cat's relaxed voice came through the fabric. Why? Why am I naked? I was definitely wearing my school uniform just a moment ago, wasn't I? I didn't remember taking it off or having it taken off me. As I panicked, the fabric of my beam began to rip and sway. The visibility suddenly returned to me. Cheshire Cat's giant grinning face loomed before my eyes. I had screamed many times today, and this was no different. I crouched down and wrapped my arms around myself. Cheshire Cat, turn around. Why? It doesn't matter. Just turn around. After I yelled at him, the Cheshire Cat turned around. Close your eyes, too. You can't look until I say so, okay? As you wish, our Alice. He responded in a carefree tone. I dove back into the fabric. Why did this happen? Clothes, where are my clothes? And why are you so big? I'm not big. You're small, Alice. Me? Small? What do you mean? You become small. I mean, what does... Alice speaks slowly. The truth will not run away. What's that supposed to mean? But there is some truth to those words. That's right, I need to calm down. I learned in disaster drills in elementary school that you can remain calm in emergency. You must remain calm in emergency situations. I took several deep breaths. Calm down and think. I've become small. I've become small. What does that mean? In a literal sense, it means I'm shrunk down. I looked up at the fabric around me. Could that be my school uniform? Now that I think about it, this charcoal color does look familiar. Because I shrunk, my clothes slipped off. And now that I'm small, the Cheshire Cat and the rest of the world looks enormous. Why? Why did I shrink? Human beings don't just shrink. Yes, they do, Alice. The Cheshire Cat nonchalantly dismissed my 16 years' worth of conventional wisdom. Really? Is that true? Is that how it is? Anyone can shrink if they eat strawberry jam bread. You mean that bread arm just a moment ago? Yes, indeed. Why did I shrink when I ate that bread? Because that's what it's supposed to do, Alice. You notice our names changed, or Moda was before to Alice. At this point, I wasn't sure how to that. I can't say the word. Achoo! My skin was covered in goosebumps. I forgot. Time to think of it. I'm cold. I need to take care of this problem first. What should I do? Is there something I can use to cover myself? I rummaged through my crumbled clothes. The scarf of my school uniform caught my eye. It seemed like this perfect size. I glanced back at the Cheshire Cat, who was still turned around like he was supposed to be. Quickly moved to remove the scarf from my school uniform and wrapped it around myself. In my current condition, the scarf was about the size of a larger than average bath towel. I suppose this will have to do. For now, I took a deep sigh to steady my nerves and surveyed my surroundings. The ceiling was absurdly high, like a church citadel's. Everything around me was too big to fit my field of vision. I wish it weren't true, but unfortunately, it seems I really have shrunk. Why does this have to happen to me? A long I can't say that word. Sigh left my lips. The hallway stretched out. I found a rabbit person. A strange person forced me to eat a part of his severed arm, made of bread, and drink, and on top of that, I'm completely naked. I'm also completely naked. At that moment, I quickly glanced up at the mysterious person in front of me. And the only person I've actually met so far won't listen to what I'm saying. Wait a second. All this weirdness started happening after I met this person. He might be the mastermind behind all this. I was suddenly overcome with dread. Forcing myself to eat that bread and shrieking me, what is he trying to do? Nothing good can come of this, not if I'm with him. I need to run away. Quietly, I turned around. Where are you going, Alice? I almost screamed and managed to catch myself. Despite fading in the opposite direction, he still was very perceptive. I'm not going anywhere. Can I turn around now? No, not yet. Is that so? That was all the Cheshire Cat said before falling silent once again. Seems he's really going to honor my request to look away until I say otherwise. He's surprisingly obedient. No, I can't let him fool me. I started to distance myself from the Cheshire Cat, taking care to hide the sound of my footsteps. I couldn't walk too fast because the scarf felt like it would slip off. Where are you going, Alice? Though he was still facing away from me, the Cheshire Cat repeated his previous question. I'm not going anywhere. I could feel my voice wavering as I answered him. Does he have eyes in the back of his head? Can I turn around now? No, you can't. You definitely can't. Just so. He's so strange. I shouldn't be anywhere near him. I picked up my scarf and ran quietly so as not to make a sound. I didn't think to run to a specific place. I just needed to get away from here and lose this person. I don't know, I think I should have stayed with the Cheshire Cat. Just when I started to feel out of breath, I saw a door. That's the tiny door from before. But this time it was only slightly smaller than a normal-sized door. That's right. Now that I'm this size, I can go through it. If I remember correctly, there was a staircase past this door. But I go down and I'm sure I can get outside. Where are you going, Alice? Ah! I tripped on the hem of the scarf and fell down. Turned around in a panic, and there I saw the Cheshire Cat still facing the opposite direction. I didn't even hear his footsteps or sense his presence. What? Can I turn around now? He's strange. This person is definitely strange. I told him not to turn around until I say so. What kind of person takes that request so literally? Alice is okay now. No. I'll be stubborn too, though. That's what it takes. That's so. course, the Cheshire Cat did not object one way or the other. He simply nodded. I started to walk again backwards, this time so I could watch him. He just slid after me while he faced the opposite direction. He must have eyes in the back of his head. I wonder if he's still some kind of new monster. Please stop following me. Why? Because wherever you're around, bad things happen. But Alice, I told you to stop following me. As you wish, our Alice. With those words, the Cheshire Cat stopped walking. I sensed the opportunity to run as fast as I could towards the small door. I think I made a mistake. This door is tiny. I'm sure he won't be able to fit through. I bolted through the door. Slam. As soon as the tiny door closed behind me, I leaned back against it and slid down to the floor. Overcome with relief, my eyes began to well up. I don't want to do this anymore. Why do I have to suffer such a horrible experience? I become so small. What am I supposed to do now? I closed my eyes tight. Then suddenly a light voice came from above. What's wrong, miss? I raised my head and froze. A giant animal I could identify stood before me. It's a porcupine. I can you not know it's a porcupine? Or is it a hedgehog? It's one of either, I don't know. What is that, a bear? What are you crying about? The giant animal seemed too dim and simple to be cautious. What are you? A bear? Nah, I'm not a bear. I'm a hedgehog. I knew it was either one. The hedgehog absently shook his head as being shaken with fear was unthinkable. Hedgehog? I stared carefully at the huge animal looming before me. His thin pointy nose stuck out from beneath his round blank eyes, and his bulky body was covered in gray grizzled fur. I see it now, he is a hedgehog. I've seen one in a picture book before. That's right, he just looks so big because I've shrunk. Why can't a hedgehog talk to a human? Huh? Why is a hedgehog at a school? Huh? Hedgehog stood frozen, his mouth about to open as a blank expression appeared on his face. Huh? It's no use. He's more confused than me, and I'm the one who asked. It's fine. Don't worry about it. At this rate, our conversation will never progress. So I just let the question drop. Hedgehog smiled as if saying, Really? Now that I think about it, I just saw a rabbit wearing human clothes. So a talking hedgehog wearing an apron is nothing too. Whoa there. Before I knew it, the hedgehog brought his face really close to mine. Whoa, what? Huh? What do you mean? I didn't know what he meant, I just knew getting in my face like that wasn't normal. Anyway, miss, what are you doing here? Asked the hedgehog at point-blank range. I was sleeping in the study room, and then a hooded... Tried to step back and put some distance between us, but the hedgehog just inched closer. Anyway, hooded weirdo. And then... I can't do this. I can't talk in this position. Your face is a little too close. Gently, I pushed the hedgehog's face back. Huh? Oh, I'm sorry, I just... Dude finally backed off, seemingly unoffended. And then... Yes, so anyways. Trying to explain it was kind of a pain. It would have been too long to explain from the beginning, and I wasn't confident that I could have described it right. I'm in trouble. I was very direct about my situation. Oh, you're in trouble. Hedgehog sat with his legs folded under him and had a very serious expression on his face. Well, it's because I've become small, and my clothes fell off, and I can't get out of the school. Nonsense, you're not small at all. Hedgehog waved his hand back and forth. I was much bigger before. I like my old size better. Really? I think that size is much better. I appreciate the compliment, but now his face is getting close again. Wonder why he keeps bringing his face so close and twitching his nose. Do I smell weird or something? Maybe I smell sweaty. I got worried and tried to smell myself. It's hard to tell. Maybe I'm used to my own smell. Oh, no, you don't smell weird. Not at all. The hedgehog shook his arms and head. If that's the case, then that's fine. For a brief moment, the hedgehog just silently stared at me. Is it possible that... The hedgehog gently touched the tip of his black nose to mine. Huh? You're Alice? No, I'm not. I shook my head. Finally got away from the hooded person who kept calling me as, and now this hedgehog is saying it too. You're not? Hedgehog's shoulders sagged in disappointment. He doesn't need to get so down about it. He seemed really depressed by it, enough to make me start to feel bad. I'm not, but the Cheshire Cat person called me that. He wears a gray hood was the end of the sentence, but I doubt it reached his ears. The hedgehog grabbed my shoulders hard and shouted. Then you must be Alice, right? So forceful. But I'm trying to tell you it's not true. Yeah, the Cheshire Cat says you're Alice. You must be her. The hedgehog was very matter-of-fact about it. I knew it. I thought you were her. Because your scent. Why did he suddenly get quiet? My scent? What about my scent? Huh? Oh, it's a nothing. Really? Anyways, forget all that. Welcome back, our Alice. Ah! He hugged me with his might, and I was pretty unnerved at it. In Japan, this much visual affection from a stranger is very uncommon. Thinking I'm sure foreigners aren't used to being hugged by a hedgehog either. Okay, guys. I'm gonna stop here. And this is gonna be the first part, so please leave a like, comment if you wish, and sub for more. I'm out, people. Bye.